Well, hi everybody, my name is Roberto Di Cosmo. I'm a computer scientist, a hacker, a developer. I have spent a lot of time promoting open source software. And you know, open source software is actually the engine of the digital transformation. It is actually used all over the place. And now more recently, you see this incredible explosion of AI. So we are trying to look at what are kind of founding principles you can find across these two fields. Well, the first observation is that while open source software has been key in developing modern AI and modern language model, because if you think about, PyTorch, scikit-learn, etc., all these are incredible open source tools for building models. Now it also counts that the knowledge we embedded in source code is used to train models. Okay, and actually it is used by everybody. If you use ChatGPT, Copilot, whatever, etc., these models include all public available source code as a training set. So there is no turning back here, but the real question is how we should build such models and for the benefit of whom. So let's see what is around us and have a candid look at it. Basically, if you look around you and what you usually use every day, you have a couple of things. Closed models, typically OpenAI, ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, Anthropic, etc., etc. And you have other things that are called open source, but are really more open weights model, and we'll come to it later on. Like the Meta, Llama 3, the Mistral AI models, etc. And you have problems with both of these things. When you look at closed models, it means that you use a model, you need to send your data over an API to something that you do not know. So you cannot run the model on your machine. You cannot inspect how it works. There is very limited possibility of doing fine-tuning, and much worse, you are sending your very private personal information, ideas, knowledge, worries, etc., over to an API to somebody. And if you look at the fine print, they can do whatever they want with what you send there. So on the other side, open model weights do not have these limitations, of course, because you can run the model locally, do fine tuning, etc. But there are also limitations here. Typically, in these open weights model, you do not know how the model is trained, you do not know what is the data that comes into the training, so there are issues about potential biases, and then also when you go to do the benchmarks, are the model good because they are good, or are they model good because they were trained on the benchmark? Okay, so we have seen what happens in some kind of misuse of scientific behavior, okay? So this is not what open should mean, okay? We should try to do something else. And here there is we had an opportunity. The import of the PDF was not very. That's terrifying. I do not know what happened to my slides. I will share them later on. I get 10 seconds more after this. So but basically, Open Software Heritage is an initiative I founded and I'm leading since 2015. We created a universal archive of software source code. We collect everything that is out there publicly. We embed it in a spatial data structure, which is a direct acyclic graph with a cryptographic signature all over the place, a Merkle graph. This ensures availability, guarantees integrity, enables traceability of all the source code around the world. And so, well, the numbers there, the thing are basically 50 billion nodes and 700 billion edges right now in some 2 petabytes of storage. So what could we do to try and change the situation? We try to look for founding principle for the use of the software heritage archive in training models. Principle number 1, the model that is trained on this data set should be open, whatever it means. And if you're interested, there is a session just after this one, which is on what is open source AI. The second is that training data must be completely made available to everybody. And the mechanism should be established to have an opt-out for people that do not want their source code to be used in the training. Now, the big question is anybody ready to play the game? Or these are just empty principles. The good news is if you look at what happens in February 28th, in the collaboration with people from ServiceNow and Hugging Face, the first fully open model trained on software heritage was released. And they tell me, I'm not an expert in machine learning, that this is the best open model you can find for programming today. So what are the lessons learned during this experience? Well, transparency using software edge is very easy to do because you can just publish the list of identifier of every piece of source code that goes into the training data set. Opt-out is a mess because who is a real author, what is actually the copyright, etc., we know it. But the other thing that we learned in this is that everything, the pipeline to build the training data set, for building attribution information for what the model produces is extremely complex. And instead of having tons of different entities, companies, people trying to build it by themselves, we believe that we need a coordinated effort to push, to tilt the field in favor of open models, which is not the case today. And the good news or breaking news is we are a small organization, but we are really trying to engage in that direction. We will announce something in the coming month. And we look forward for more people to join us in trying to have more open models to have the service of everybody, and not just for a few that can afford them. Thank you very much.